Thank you for joining us. Palms Up Academy presents Puff, Palms Up Flash Fest 5 at 5, where we screen 5 artist content at 5 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm your host, Ariana Lady Bosco. Be sure to check out all of our programs, classes, and shows at palmsupacademy.com. Today we will be watching MaJiK MC's video Waves, directed by Kaitlyn Fae, a live magic performance by Dremagix, the short film Running, starring Chris Wood and directed by his 13-year-old son, Jara Wood, a live song performance by Alyssa Aguilos, and finally, Josephine and the Roach, starring Jenna Ogden and Jerry White Jr., directed by Jonathan Langager. Please stay after the screening as cast, directors, and performers will converse about their respective projects and the ever mysterious feeling of love.
It might be wrong, but ain't nobody gotta know. If you can keep a secret and I can keep it, we can keep it going, go. Yeah, I know I turn you on. Anywhere, any place, anytime, anyhow, anywhere you want it. You know I got it, can't stop this feeling. Get on top of me, be the ceiling. Turn that ass around, now back it down and come and get this heel in my deck. That good wood, you dripping wet, yeah. Girl, your body is an ocean, now let's set this up. Tell me you don't feel it, tell me you don't want it. Tell me I should leave under my, I promise. Tell me what to do, tell me how you like it. Tell me what you need, we can go all night. Ain't nothing but my pleasure. Ecstasy forever, I've been searching lost at sea, but now I found my buried treasure. Making waves
all across the souls. Don't nobody
those hips, licking those lips, yeah, you know I wanna taste. Come in, give me a kiss, now get on this dick. I'ma take your breath away, can't keep my hands off. Trace my fingers around your curves, and the way you say my name, oh, it don't sound like just a word. It sound like love, it sound like lust. It sounds so strong, it sounds so soft. Sound like all of the above when you be screaming, don't stop. So why would I, could I? You got me hard, I got you wet. First we take it slow, next we move it fast, you know the rest. Pearls make up your iris, voice like murmur sirens. I'ma meet you at your climax, that's a perfect timing. Perfect timing, perfect timing. When I get through, you gon' come to, now that's a perfect timing. We making waves
all across the souls. Don't nobody know, don't nobody know. Yeah, we're making waves all across the souls. Time, boy, since I felt this way. You got me dreaming about it, feeling for it, baby, all the damn long day. We gliding through waves effortlessly. Oh, baby, I'm just ghosting on you. You're stroking on me, yeah. Backstroke, make my words joke. Thirsting for you, just fulfill my fantasy, yeah.
We making waves
all across the souls. Don't lost our souls. Don't nobody know. Don't nobody know. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? This is your boy Dremagix. Welcome to the Palms Up Academy Flash Fest. They asked me to come here and do some magic. Come here. They asked me to stay home and do some magic, and we're gonna do a couple card tricks. The thing is, I've been messing with cards most of my life, and even when I was a kid, the problem with cards is that when no one would trust me. No one would trust me with playing cards, right? So what all my friends did, they thought they were being funny. They took all my cards and they put them in the boxes, right? And then they would put tape on the little lids. I don't have tape right now, but they would put tape on the lid. So I had to play with the cards and figure out how to use them while they were still in the box. And I kind of figured out a way. All you have to do is give the box a squeeze and you get the first card. You get an ace, right? They thought I was cutting slits in the boxes. I said, if you rub the sides, and you can check out the box. What they thought was, do you see the back, how it matches a card? I was using the back as camouflage. And whenever I needed a card, I would just pull one off. But I said, how is that possible? And all you do is tap, and you get another one. Isn't that crazy? We have a pattern here, right? We have a couple of aces. Take a look at the pattern on the back, though. If you focus on the pattern, and you give the box a little chop, like that, you get the last ace. Yes, I've been messing with cards basically for most of my life. And here's the thing, you couldn't bring cards to school. You couldn't bring cards to school because it was like contraband, right? They didn't want you growing up learning how to gamble and play card games. A lot of good that did, but I do magic now. But here's the thing, right? I couldn't have cards at school, so when I would go over to my friends' houses, they would make me do magic with their decks. So all the decks would be different, and I learned how to use magic with a lot of different decks. But here's the thing, I was sneaky. I don't know why I did this, but all the different cards I stole one card from each deck, right? It was weird. It was a weird thing when I was a kid. And the one trick that I've always wanted to learn as a kid was to find, it's called the Holy Grail. You find the 4 aces from a shuffled pack. And when I learned how to do that, we kind of upped the level, right? Now that I'm an adult and doing magic. So we did a different kind of shuffle. We shuffled face up into face down. There's one card there. Face up into face down. We would shuffle the cards, and you can tell it's an actual shuffle because it sounds like this. Nice. So I would have to try and find 4 aces from a shuffled deck, but it was a face up, face down situation. I don't know. So all I have to do is give the decks a couple of cuts like that. There's one, that's the first one. That's the Ace of Diamonds. The second one is very simple. All you have to do is give the cards a cut like that. A little fancy for you. And that is the Ace of Hearts. The next one comes from the middle. You can deal it from the middle. That's the Ace of Spades, and you can go face up. Some of the cards are face up, face down, face up, face down, face up, face down. And this is how you would find the last ace. You would snap, and all the cards would fix themselves. Except for one. And that was your last ace, the Ace of Clubs. And here's the thing, right? Like I said, I've been doing this trick for many years, and with different decks of cards, right? And if I could do it like that, it would look like this. I don't know. Oh, remember when I told you that story of when I would steal cards from different decks? Yeah, I wasn't lying. This one's from my deck. This one's from down the street. This one's from the Bosco house. And this one was from Siba. Yeah, it's cool. 4 cards. Not only that, right? But check it out. If we take the deck, give a little shake like that. Like I said, I stole a lot of cards. Almost all the cards are different. I think my childhood turned out pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Dremagix. Enjoy the rest of the Palms Up Flash Fest. Spread love, make magic. Peace.
Oh.
Sometimes when you're drowning and the seas take you away, you paddle and you push against the ever-beating waves. When it comes crashing down, just remember there sure is a shore out there somewhere. The sea's gotta end somewhere, somewhere. there sure is a shore out there somewhere. Keep your head high above the rising tide. Keep your head high above the rising tide. Well, there sure is a shore out there somewhere. The sea's gotta end somewhere, somewhere. Even the rivers bend and the mountains peak. Well, there sure is a shore out there Happy Valentine's Day.
So, wow. What a wonderful group of pieces.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. We have Kaitlyn Fae, we have MaJiK MC, Chris Wood, Ja Wood, Jerry White Jr., Alyssa Aguilos, Dremagix, and John. How do I say your last name? I hope I didn't butcher it.
Langager. No one, I understand.
Langager.
Langager. I think I said Langager or something.
There's one too many G's.
Langager. Okay, so let's start. I mean, we're kind of just conversing here and just vibing with each other here on this Valentine's Day. But I do want to say, because we just saw that your piece is both charming and horrifying at the same time.
I don't
True.
understand the horrifying part.
You don't understand the horrifying
Creepy?
part?
Is creepy the right word?
And they're delightful creatures.
I didn't know I could care for a roach. So well done.
Oh, you know.
Well done.
It's interesting, like, yes, go ahead, Jerry.
Well, there was I just gotta say, and this is my bad. Right toward the end, there was a brief fade to stars. That is not the film. That was a technical error on my part. If any of you caught that, like 2-second blip, sorry about that. Anyway.
Yes, I caught the 2-second blip.
Jerry, haven't you done enough to that roach?
I know.
That was basically,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
you're right. It was like the Mo in me coming back to be like, screw you. Exactly.
I didn't know you could be so mobile.
Yeah, hey man, you've done burpees with me. You should know I can move.
Yeah.
It's so great because I mean, the loose theme here today is about love, and obviously that's an unconventional story about love. And then there's self-love, and then there's many loves in MaJiK MC's Waves. But yeah, Waves is also a theme with Alyssa's song Waves.
Yeah.
I had
Even
no
Afloat,
idea.
yeah.
For sure,
And then-
there's a shore somewhere.
And then Dre doing a piece about childhood and love of childhood, and Ja Wood is, as much as you may hate it and want to rush your life, Ja is a child and had his short film screen debut today.
Congratulations.
We're very honored.
Yes.
Hey.
I enjoyed it.
That was so filmmakers, and you can kind of go in whatever order, but just share the space because obviously we're on a Zoom. Kaitlyn, Ja, and John, and I know that y'all are also filmmakers, but the films that were shown today, how do you where does the inspiration come from? Kaitlyn, I know that you were given a piece of music. And also, for those of you who don't know, Kaitlyn is also the vocals on the track as well. And I know that there was talks about you actually being in the video and having like a dual thing, but then decided to not do that at the end. She was like, no. Okay. So where does inspiration come from with this particular piece today?
I was like at a Palms Up after party at some bar with you guys, and then MaJiK, I saw him across the room and I was like, hey, I've seen that guy before. I was like, I'm gonna make a music video with him. And then I just strode over to him. I was like, how would you like to make a music video together? That's my
Is that how you said it?
I'm not even kidding. It was like, right?
Yeah.
It was like a creepy,
I was like, what? How do you know?
Yeah,
me?
It was like a creepy salesman's pitch. And I was like, I've seen you before. And then I listened to the song. I'll be real, MaJiK.
No,
I couldn't think of anything. Yeah.
She sang later.
Palms
Up, and I was like, wait, she wants to direct a music video, and her voice is amazing. Let me get her on this song.
Let me interject for a second. Palms Up Academy, we do a MaJiK, and now it's online, but we had a physical space. So this is where a lot of people here, or everyone met there, except for John, but John was brought in through Jerry White Jr. So Kaitlyn ended up singing at one of the mics, and MaJiK is at the mic every week. So this is
it wasn't a quid pro quo, like I'll direct your video if I get to sing on it?
No, I would never do that. No.
You're going to direct the song that you're singing on too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh shoot. And I like quickly scribbled some lines in my notebook and I showed up and I was like, oh, this is what I have. I don't know. And then I got my best friend's younger brother to be the producer, and I was like, I gave him like a 1-page Word document, like, oh, this is what I think might be in it. And he looks at me in a very couched language. He goes, Kaitlyn, I think you can do better than this. Basically, is what he said.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like,
called out.
Triggered. Yeah. So
you're way more talented than you think you are.
Well, I went home and I was like, I'm a failure. I don't even know what I'm doing. Why was I being a creepy salesperson? I shouldn't have asked to do this. I suck. So my roommate, she heard me out and she was like, Kaitlyn, this is a challenge. This is a challenge for you to get creative. Like, don't, just because you've never done this before doesn't mean that you can't like get better at it. So
wait, interjection again.
I didn't even
Sorry,
know this.
Kaitlyn. Yeah. Kaitlyn actually does direct films, but I guess
that
this
was
is
my
the first music video.
Yeah.
So
that was
go
my
on.
first music video. See, MaJiK doesn't even
Great
know
job.
this.
I didn't even know you were going
It
through
was
this.
all smoke and
You
mirrors.
were so professional.
It was smoke and mirrors. I was pretending I knew what I was doing. I didn't know what I was talking about. And so I went home and I created this pitch deck and I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to do R&B. I can't do this. And then I thought, okay, well, what do I know? What do I like? What inspires me? Well, I like pretty things. I like history. I like mermaids. I like gold, you know? So then I just started throwing ideas on the walls. Like, I don't even know if we have enough money for this, but the producer was like, that is not your job. You let me worry about that.
Nice. That's a great producer.
Yeah. We were going to have like a water tank with like mermaids. And then we were at one point trying to get like a snake on set, like with a animal trainer or something. Wow. We only had one night and we filmed it in this weird kind of vampire themed escape room in downtown LA.
Hell yeah.
And then we ran out of time. There's all these scenes we didn't film. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I just like slapped it together and then that was the product. And then
it was awesome.
Whose idea was the honey?
The what? Who's like the honey? That was my idea. It was like there was supposed to be way more sexual. Yeah, there was supposed to be like nudity, and then I was like, we just cut the nudity, and then I was like, honey, that gets people thinking about certain things.
Oh yeah, it does.
We're just gonna splash it on her face, and she's gonna lick it off.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry,
and
I'm not even like MaJiK talk.
We'll let MaJiK talk in a moment.
Okay,
we'll let MaJiK talk in a moment.
Gotcha.
Jara, tell us about running in the pursuit of self-love. No, I don't know. What was your inspiration for running? I know that you Well, also interesting fun fact: Jara is applying for Loxa, and that was his video that he's turning in for cinematic arts. And then on a side note, John's film Josephine and the Roach was actually his USC thesis
Nice.
piece.
Oh,
So
congrats.
that's like a cool little like school education, like pushing you to fucking get something done, right? So Jara, tell us about running.
Well, originally it was supposed to be just like a collage of like terrible things, like the worst day. And so basically it was like him just like trying to find like just find happiness and find stuff. But then my dad was like, wait, well, why don't we just focus on one of the things? And it's also more of a problem now in America, obesity. So then we decided, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and roll with this. So I thought it would be a good idea to
Oh, it froze. Am I going?
No.
Did he freeze? He froze.
He is
All right,
frozen.
I'm out of here.
But yeah, so we had to
Mic drop.
we had to chop it down from like this big list of like funny things that would happen to a person to a specific thing, because we were under time constraints, budgetary constraints, and because of COVID and everything too, like we couldn't hire other people to play these other parts to interact with me. So basically, low budget style, we had to kind of just roll with the punches of what we were shooting based on what we could actually get done in a day or two, Jara, you're
so
back.
interesting.
I'm not broken.
Yes.
It's so interesting how like constraints and perimeters give way to art, give way, like they're really important. And so is that the case for you, John, not being able to find a counterpart? So you think, oh, why don't we get a Roach instead? How did that work for you?
Because it was
a beautiful Roach.
Yeah, you're always going to work.
Union.
You're always going to work with constraints, and I think but I always wanted to do something that's a little bit fantastical, that is a little bit outside the box. And there's a lot of thesis films that I'd seen that were a little bit more sort of production heavy, like had a lot of different locations, a lot of different actors. So it was my goal to kind of be really choosy about what I was going to spend the time and money on. And so it's like one location and, two actors. So everything was very contained. There's no dialogue. So I kind of wanted to pick what I paid attention to and could focus on. So that was kind of a strategic way of approaching it.
And why the Roach? I mean, of all the things that you could pick, what was the inspiration for the Roach? Because it is like, it just tugs on people's like fears. But then you make it so adorable.
Well, you kind of answered your own question there, because it's like, it is inherently kind of disgusting. So it has a lot of sort of inborn sort of associations and feelings around it. And so it has that kind of, gut feeling that you get when you see a cockroach. And if you pair it with something that's kind of the opposite of that, that's really heartwarming and sort of genuine.
That's a tiny violin. Perfect.
There's a lot of inherent tension in that a fun thing to play on as a filmmaker. And especially, it also has sort of the different scale to it. So there's a lot of like really juicy kind of artistic concepts that keep it interesting and visual. Also, I lived in the West in about 2007, and I was in this like rent-controlled, roach-infested apartment that was like above this not very restaurant. So it was like hundreds and hundreds of roaches that would like, you look at the stereo, and inside like the clock of the stereo was like a roach would like crawl in between its. That was like a couple years before going to USC. So it's like that was kind of fresh in my mind back then.
I love that. With people, there's this emotion that happens. You see it in like even in Dremagix's Magic Fit. He has these moments kind of remembering his youth, and he has these pauses where he kind of looks off and he has this memory, and then he goes on with the trick and the story, or Alyssa, and she's singing her song and she's like listening to the music and she's getting her cues, but then she kind of gets lost in it, and then MaJiK's over there getting lost in every woman in his video. There's these moments in those silence, and it's so funny how the Roach, maybe it's just a human mind that was so powerful. It's just so suggestive that you almost feel like the Roach is acting, but you're like, it just has white eyes. It's just like has these big eyes. Jerry White Jr. kind of doing it, emanating that when he gets taken over by the Roach, and then does this thing where he has these round eyes, but it conveys so much. And the Roach, I felt like, conveyed so much, but also maybe it's just like context. Maybe we're just making that up.
Well, thank you. I mean, that was another budget constraint because we had enough to build the Roach, but not to really animate. So I did all the animation all I had was the blinking of the eyes and the antenna animation, which I, kind of basically taught myself After Effects and spent like a month doing that. But I think Jerry was essential to give him a lot of personality. I mean, he's just a fantastic physical actor. So it's like, I think without Jerry, the Roach wouldn't have really had a personality because he's got such a static face, and it's always a problem with puppetry. Like that's the thing you have to kind of overcome. And we did the best we could with the tools that we had, but like Jerry's performance really took that to another level.
Yeah. Speaking of physical, both Jerry and Chris Wood here, very physical performances. Really diving into the physicality of the craft of acting there.
I don't know if anyone realized. I don't know if you saw how fast I was, but I was really fast.
Lightning.
It was really,
was
really
that
fast.
special effects?
I'm gonna speed the video up because my dad was just running so slow.
That's not true. That's not. Okay, it might be a little.
The secrets of filmmaking.
We were out of breath because there were actually parts where there was a part where I was running towards the end where he was like following me with the camera, and this little 13-year-old got out of breath pretty quick too. So I think we got to be jogging.
It was pretty steady. Like, did you have a steady cam thing? I mean, if you said you're running with him, it felt that really like the shots were really nicely placed. Jara, good job on that.
Thank you. I mean, I had like a tiny like phone holder. Like I didn't really have much. I just
had like a little
scale.
Yeah. It's it's technology. It's the phones nowadays. We shot it on a phone. We shot it on a Samsung Galaxy S20 that I have.
Amazing.
Oh wow.
He's the only one who has a Galaxy.
Yeah, everyone else has their iPhone. So this is the one that iPhone copied to do their Pro. So it has the lenses of that, and then yeah, I think it probably has some technology that steadies it a bit. But he has very steady hands too. You know what I mean? Because he was running, like he was like running behind me with it like on the ground basically. Because there's a shot from like there. So, but yeah.
Well, I love it. I think that those are such like, especially Jara being 13, like such special memories to be creating art that later on could be the foundation of something like what Dremagix brought today. And Dre is a prolific magician, for those of you who don't know him, out there in
all the
ethers.
cards were different. That was crazy.
All the cards were different.
They were always different.
What happened?
That was so wild.
Well, so Dre's very much about kind of storytelling and magicianry. I don't think that's a word, magicianry, but
magic gallery.
Magic.
Is that really
Magictellery? The Magictelleriness.
Magicabulary?
He's
I'm a wizard,
Magictellerist.
so I just whiz on everyone.
So he has this but I love that you brought such kind of intimate quaintness with talking about your beginnings as a child, or you framed up the magic that way. How do you approach kind of your magic? I mean, we know magic and that takes years of practice, obviously. But in terms of presentation, like when you're approaching your stories, we just saw one today. Hopefully y'all are able to see more of Dremagix's magic and Magictelleriness, because he's a Magictellerist. But how do you approach your writing for your bits and your shows and your longer shows.
Yeah, because when I was like studying magic, I came to the realization that magic can be somewhat finite. And my whole thing was I wanted to go pro. So I didn't want people to book other magicians. I wanted to book me. So what's the only thing that I can do that no one else can replicate was my own stories, right? But yeah, the whole thing about magic is it's like chess. You just got to be 3 moves ahead and know the outcome before the audience knows the outcome. And if you can combine that with your own like spices and flavor, I think it would make a really good magic show.
I love it.
Yeah.
He's actually in development of another show that I hope to be helping him with coming up here. And then there's Alyssa, who brought in that beautiful song, also I don't know, produced or composed by Magnum. Was that at all? And it's okay if it wasn't. Was that at all inspired by waves? Did the concept?
Waves?
Of course not, because there's an ocean.
Well,
the other waves, MaJiK's waves.
Our waves.
Our waves. Well, actually,
They're-
not that song. It's funny because it was kind of like a, what is that word when like things evolve separately but
Convergent
very
evolution.
similarly? Convergent evolution. Yeah, like we
Damn.
haven't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Why were you so ready with that?
Yeah,
I was gonna say parallel, but he
Convergent
came out with
evolution.
convergent.
Because I think
Okay.
about
I
that
like
all the time.
Yeah,
That's so
it was
cool.
like it was like a similar thing, but like
Important.
my whole the EP that that Magnum and I are gonna put out soon. I had this idea of kind of like putting it in phases, and this was like the water phase, and this whole EP is about the cleansing of water and its properties, and how things need to wash away, or like things need to, it can be like you need to keep flowing. Either you are the water, or you are part of the experience that water can bring. So this particular song was just trying to stay above water, being like rolling with the tide kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was beautiful.
Thank
It
you,
was
thank you.
beautiful.
I'm so much more of a lyricist than I'm like a instrumentalist, so that's where Magnum
Oh,
comes
I
in.
loved
and
I loved that hook. The lyrics were
It's a
amazing.
catchy song.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I'm excited.
I wanted to ask, before we run out of time here, because I wanted to talk to you obviously about your respective work, but I wanted to ask because it is Valentine's Day, which is a total consumer holiday. So I don't really buy into it, but I do believe in love, and I do believe in, but then in love, what is love when you don't have a partner, you want it so badly, but yet it's so hard to self-love, like in running, you see this guy and he's trying to help himself, and it's love is such a difficult, like, what is it? I guess you can look it up in the dictionary, but what is it for each of you? And of course there's different aspects, right? There's like love for your family, but I guess what makes it so difficult to why is it so difficult to find love and then to find love for yourself sometimes? Go ahead. Anybody?
Oof.
I have an answer, but I want to wait for somebody else to answer.
I guess I would say the reason why
MaJiK.
it could be so difficult is because of the infinite ways that we can love, that our love language is so unique to ourselves, and to find someone who matches that is, kind of the miracle, I guess.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Go ahead.
I feel like love is a risk that we take, and that's why it hurts so much. But it also, like, it comes with so many great rewards, because love is one of those things that like pushes you to become a better person. It makes you want to, whether it's self-love, because loving yourself is like, you want to be better for you and everybody around you, or if it's you're loving the other person, you want to be your best self for the other person. That's what I feel like love is and should be, is somebody that you grow together with. And it's really troubling when you don't have self-love, because then it's the opposite of that. But then the reason I say it's a risk is because, like, once that's gone, then you put your heart out there for it to be, it's not a guarantee, you know, and you only do it in the hope of hopefully getting, not necessarily for a reward, but you do it without any expectation of a reward.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, I have read in places that the closest kind of thing you can get to what real love is a pure positive focus on someone else, regardless of what they can give or do for you.
Exactly.
Which is actually kind of rare, mostly because we're living in an emotional dark age, and most people don't really have enough self-compassion or love for themselves. So if you can't have love for yourself, then it's difficult to give it to other people, if not impossible. And it's like, I remember years ago, my best friend, she said, if you have $20 and you pass by a homeless person on the street, are you going to give them the $20 if that's literally all you have in your bank? Because then you're not going to have anything for yourself. You need to store up things for yourself emotionally in order to be able to give to others. Otherwise, there's nothing there. So love is not real, guys.
That's where we got.
It's just a construct.
Plot twist.
Yeah. You see that coming?
So basically,
the foreshadowing.
that's not real.
That's not real. No, I'm kidding. It's probably real.
I mean, love is scientific, though. Like, there are hormones and things in your brain.
Here we go.
But is that infatuation?
This conversation.
Teach
Is
us,
that
child.
love or is that infatuation?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like those hormones, that oxytocin, right? That gets released.
Oxytocin is a hormone that is with love. That is true.
Hey.
That's how they make it.
That's how they make it. It's like a tiny factory.
Yeah, it's a mini factory.
Of course, a 13-year-old. Of course, a 13-year-old goes, well, it is scientific.
It's scientific. I learned this in my science class.
I learned it yesterday. Hello.
Actually, I did learn it 2 days ago, actually.
Yeah.
So,
there's love.
Way to use
there's
what you learn. Way to use what you learn.
I will say that love was so much simpler for me, I think, when I was Ja Ra's age. You know, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, I thought I knew what love was. I thought I loved. In fact, I think I did love easily, and it's become way more complicated and elusive as I've gotten older. Like having the emotion, defining the emotion. And I feel okay about it because obviously I'm in good company, because humans have been trying to figure this out from the get-go. Like we have not, that's what all the songs and all of the stories are about, like at some root level, right? So I think part of our drive as humans and as artists is answering the question or figuring it out for ourselves. And yeah, I don't fucking know.
John, you got a stab? Do you know what it is?
What love is?
Yeah. Why is it so hard? Why is it so good?
Well, I think I heard someone in an interview saying that like he didn't believe in love. He was like in his 90s. He was one of the lawyers for the Nuremberg trials, and he was talking how he had taken care of his wife who had dementia, and he was in his 90s, and he said, "Oh, I don't really understand. I don't get love. I don't like the word love, because you can love a muffin or a piece of cake, but really with humans it's more about caring and how you can like care for someone, and that's kind of a more profound thing, because the feelings of infatuation or those kind of romantic feelings that we associate with love are fleeting, and they don't really necessarily reflect how you live your day-to-day life. So that really kind of struck a chord with me. I thought that was a really interesting way of looking at it, because if you're just kind of analyzing emotions, then it's kind of a dead end, because where do you go from there? Do you expect to have kind of transcendent emotions constantly with the person that you love, or is it more about like caring for that person and like keeping their best interests in heart and stuff like that? And I thought that was that kind of made a lot of sense to me, more than sort of, I don't know.
Like
it's
Romeo
kinda,
and Juliet love or something. Yeah.
I think those are two different kinds of love. I think just to piggy off of what John said, the love that you have for a piece of food is like a different kind of love than that you have for like a person. And the Greeks had 8 different kinds of love. There's familial love. There's all-encompassing, unending, like unconditional type of love. There's brotherly love. There's family love. And I think there's different ways that people can love, and I would love to have more words for it, like, because I know Japanese and Greek have different levels or definitions of it. There's it's weird to be like, I love you as a person, and then be like, I love my phone, it's so fun.
Right.
In the English language, we toss the word love around very casually.
Very casually.
Like
Yeah.
I love Mondays, you know.
Whoa, you love Mondays?
I don't know why I said that.
Wait a second.
I love cake, you know.
Right.
Or love ya. Say I love you or love ya. You know what I mean? Like
Big L or little L.
Yeah, they would just say I like or I enjoy. You wouldn't say I love. It's a big deal.
You know, if
Ray, what do you think about love?
I think love is one of those words that is okay. So story time. I had a mentor, and well, he's a big magician, and he always said, "Magic is love," right? And it's like one of those things where people use the word when they can't explain shit, right? So it's like, how did he do it? Oh, it's magic. Or like, how does the sun rise? And you're talking to a little kid, oh, it's magic, right? But I think with love, he also said, so magic is love, and if I fail to give you love, that's the best way to fail. So it's like, there's like an element of faith that the next time's gonna be amazing. I don't.
But is it?
Damn.
It's like laced with optimism.
I'm
Like I
just
said,
being
like you
pessimistic.
can't control it. Also, who hurt you?
Okay, Trey, we're not talking about that right now.
We don't have time for that.
We don't got time for that.
Who stole your cake?
Nobody got time for that.
Who made you happy about Mondays?
Yeah, why do you like Mondays?
Chris Wood, tell me about love.
Well,
you better say
as it
something
pertains
nice.
to as love pertains to the beautiful film Running, which I was a star of. I guess that that beautiful film talks more about self-love, and I guess there's a delicate balance of trying to find somewhere between kind of punishing yourself, like the guy's trying to lose weight, honestly. So you want to deprive yourself of certain things and make yourself work out, but then you kind of have a cheat meal here and there because you want that, so it's this kind of delicate balance of being kind to yourself, but also being good to yourself, right? So you're going to not eat Burger King all the time because you want to be good to your body, but at the same time, you don't want to punish yourself by disallowing all foods and like really going out there. So it's kind of like also, allowing yourself love, allowing yourself to have what you deserve when love is there. There's a delicate balance there because you want to be in love or feel love, but at the same time, sometimes people don't think that they deserve things. But you kind of have to allow yourself to be kind to yourself and accept what you deserve.
I love all of these responses, and we are coming to the end of our program, and I know there's so much to talk about with the projects and love. Love is a constant conversation, but I wanted to close out reading this about love, and I think this pertains to self and also the people that we choose in our lives and also our eventual partners in life. So here goes. Oh, but before I do, I want to thank you guys for being here, and I'm encouraging everybody who watches this now or later on, please follow these wonderful multi-hyphenate artists, because although we showcase these projects today, it should be known that they are all multi. There's so many things that each one of these artists do that we don't have time to go into, every aspect of what they create and what they make here at this intersection that we call, in this rendition, Palms Up Academy, Palms Up Flash Fest. This is words actually by, and I want to do a special thank you, for Jerry White Jr. and Maddie for producing this and helping me put this together. This is a little reading of a short little blurb by a woman named Heidi Prieb. To love someone long term is to attend 1,000 funerals of the people they used to be, the people they're too exhausted to be any longer, the people they don't recognize in themselves anymore, the people they grew out of, the people they never grew into. We so badly want the people we love to get their spark back when it burns out, to be speedily found when they are lost. But it is not our job to hold anyone accountable to the people they used to be. It is our job to travel with them between each version and to honor what emerges along the way. Sometimes it will be an even more luminescent flame. Sometimes it will be a flicker that disappears and temporarily floods the room with a perfect, necessary darkness.
That's
May
great.
you be kind to yourself and be kind to others.
Great sing, everybody.
On this Valentine's Day.
Nice seeing you too.
And all the love days.
Love y'all.
Can everybody,
Thank you guys all
real
so
quick, real quick, I need everyone to kind of dance so I can make a GIF later, like we're listening to music. Some kind of,
Okay.
Hey.
So that's all.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks, Jerry.
Happy Love Day. Happy
Great
Love
seeing you
Life.
all.
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Sunday.
Bye.
Happy President's
Thank you
Day.
guys. Thank you guys.
Much love.